Hi everybody, it is Lynn Walden. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for coming back or showing up for the first time. So today we're going to be putting together a self-awareness experiment for the week of December 15th or whenever you come across it. What I'm asking for today is I'm asking the guides for some cards that are going to fit together really well and give us a wonderful week's preparation for the holiday coming up. Something that is going to be exactly what's going to be right. So whether or not it's calming, whether or not it's jazzing things up, I'm just trusting, as I always do, that the right guidance is going to come in, because only those spirits who are coming in the highest degree of love for the benefit of all concerned are ever the ones who are allowed to be with me in anything that I do. Point final, c'est ça. Okay, so guides, I've got a new set, by the way, or I've got some additional ones coming in since I started doing this. How do I know? Because of the colors. The old ones are still here, but now I've got some new ones too. All right, gang who work together, what would you like to offer us for a contemplation card this week? Love. Okay. So I'll need my glasses for this because I want to read it to you. I'll show it to you first in case you want to take a screenshot or something. Is that showing up all right? Love. Deepak Chopra defines pure love as something we embody. It's something that radiates from us like light from a bonfire or dreams from a dreamer, rather than something we parcel out to some and not to others. Love in its purest form is a state of being which can influence our behavior but does not rely on actions in order to be felt or to have a positive effect. Love does not demand reciprocity. My gosh, that is so absolutely perfect for this week preceding Christmas, when we're so inclined to feel as though everything's got to be parceled out equally to everybody and that it's about the things that we give. Oh, this is a very good time to consider love. All right, guides, angels. A lot of angels with me today. So what would you like to offer these good people, including myself, an energy that you would like us to embody today, this week? Experimentation. Well, that's interesting. All right. So, experimentation. This approach leaves you free to be non-judgmental. There's no right or wrong way. Be willing to alter the way you do things and try new approaches, just for the purpose of collecting information. Step outside of what is most familiar and stir things up just to see. Play with the rules. Dare to throw yourself your own curveball. Well, isn't that so interesting? Okay, so when you put that together with love as your contemplation, and that love is about something you radiate rather than something you parcel out to some and not to others, this really give some very interesting possibilities for experimentation around that while you're building up to the holiday season, where so many people have so many expectations, and many of them subconscious. Okay, well, this is shaping up to be interesting. All right, my lovely guides, what would you like to offer us as an awareness activity that we can put into this mix? Okay, past, present, future. Past memories, present events, future possibilities. Oh, there we go. Okay. Today, notice what percentage of your day you spend in each of the above states through thought, action, or conversation. Where are you most inclined to experience sadness, anger, fear, excitement, hope, calm, inspiration? What can that reveal to you about how you're living life today? So I find this totally fascinating because, of course, who doesn't get nostalgic at a time like this? And who isn't sometimes feeling very sad in the present if they're not having the kind of holiday they would like? And often we assume it's people who don't have family. Sometimes it's the people who do. So how I would put this together as a valuable experiment. Now, this is how I would put it together, and you are completely and totally encouraged to set it up your own way. But the way I would set it up is this. Okay, I'm being asked to look at love in general and just notice how it shows up in the week, either in myself or in people around me or in the culture itself. And again, love, something that radiates from us like light from a bonfire or dreams from a dreamer, rather than something we parcel out to some and not to others. So again, what it says in the second part is love can influence our behaviors, but does not rely on action in order to be felt or to have a positive effect. So that's kind of playing at the back of your mind now. Now you're being asked to experiment and play with your own rules. So how would you apply that to the activity of past, present, future? Well, that's an interesting one. So if you're going to notice today what percentage of your day you spend in each of the above states, your past, your present, your future, this seems to me like it might be something where there is a little bit more experimentation within yourself, as opposed to so much in the external world necessarily. Unless what you take from this is one possibility. If you're going to look at past, present, future, it could be in terms of where you're spending your memories now. And what do you do to change that? So for example, if you find yourself focusing, we'll use Christmas as an example because it's just so obvious and present, and I need a cup of tea. Hold on, here we go. That's my happy place. If you're going to be looking at this in terms of past, present, future, and you notice that every time you think about the past, you get really nostalgic and you find yourself thinking about a particular time when you didn't get the thing that you wanted and you were upset. You can experiment by changing the story and telling yourself a different one around that. You can, number one, so you can reframe it, look for cognitive distortions. That was a terrible Christmas. I didn't get anything I wanted. Well, maybe you didn't, but can you look for something good that happened that Christmas for you, either in the moment or as a lesson of something that you were able to embody later when you were older, perhaps? So that's another way of experimenting, is by choosing to reframe what it is you're looking at. So whether it's past, present, or future, it could be the same thing. In any present moment. So this is how I'm going to work with it. This is how I'm going to work with it. I'm going to look for, where does love show up in my past memories, in my present events, and when I'm anticipating my future? And what does that look like in terms of the love? Is it a radiating love, or is it a parceling out kind of love? And wherever I find myself doing the parceling out kind of love, or acting out a feeling like, you know what it's like, well, I know they're going to get me XYZ, so I've got to get them XYZ plus, or at least XYZ. What about if in that moment you experiment with not doing that and see how it feels? I've had that experience in my life where I have been so strapped for cash that I could not go to a Christmas dinner and bring everybody gifts. And that was so hard for me. That year was so incredibly difficult for me psychologically because I knew this family I was spending Christmas with was going to be more than generous. And I knew they loved me, even though they were not technically family. They filled that role in my life. And I took a chance on not doing it and dealt with the feelings that came up. That was really challenging for me. But what I also realized was I could cook for them. And that was a way of offering something of myself that was radiating love to everybody. It wasn't one specific thing to one specific person. It was me being present in a way that was relevant for them because food is very, very, very relevant for them. Completely changed my perspective of, excuse me, my place within the family and my security and how much more loving I felt in that decision and in that action than if I had gone running around anxiously looking for something that I could afford and worrying about if it was good enough, or putting myself in debt in order to provide what I thought was a requirement. So that's how I'm looking at this for me. However you want to do it, I would say this: you're being tasked with letting the concept of love and the nature of how you love and how you've been loved be floating throughout your week. When you notice it coming up in your own life, try experimenting and see where a different perspective or a different action might shift things for you around your concept of loving. Because you know, the really great thing about this experiment and the really great thing about this entire aspect of loving is once you really, really get that sense, sorry for the glare, once you really, really get that sense of the peacefulness of loving from your center and just knowing that it's radiating out to everybody who's able to receive it, it's such a liberation and it's such a state of grace almost to be able to experience that depth that goes so far beyond all of the surface stuff we associate with, you know, the 5 different love languages, right? So there you go. Love, experimentation, past, present, future. I've read them all and I've given you screenshots. And now I'll do one more and hope that you can see them. Can you see them? I'm not sure. Still working on this, folks. There we go. You can at least re-listen. Listen, I really would like to start playing with this a little bit more, and I would love your comments on any of you who decide to follow through on this experimentation. It would be fantastic to get a small group together who would like to share the ideas and their experiences as they played with them. I'm trying to come up with something a little bit more interesting than self-awareness experiment, like playtime awareness or something. So if you've got any ideas on that, that would be great too. Other than that, if you'd like to press subscribe and give me a thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated because that really helps move the channel forward. I'm really enjoying this and I hope to continue this for a good long time and expand. So whatever you're inclined to do in support of that, I would be ever so grateful. And I'm wishing you a great week. And I will be back with a debrief on this next Friday or Saturday. And I really, really hope some of you will play with this. It's a great week to do it. It's an absolutely perfect week to do it. And yeah, it's great. Could be a lot of fun. I'll be back next Friday. Take care.